Get your kicks on Route 66. Take 4. Both try doing this. It is a high strange video. It seems like every time I go to make this video, something happens. So, the last time, just the last thing that happened was I had to turn the phone off because it started ringing in the middle of it. And I'm not mean, I'm trying to do a video here, right? Okay, and then the other time, choking thing when I start getting to 666, you know, it's like something's like, you know. And then another time, my thing shuts off. So it's like, what is going on? Something does not want me to make this video, so I might try to read a little bit through it. It's kind of like high strangeness. Brigadoo, brigadoo. A sleepy little Scottish village that comes alive for one day every 100 years. And a great movie, by the way. But yeah, it kind of feels like that sometimes. Anyway, Lavender Rose here, and we're talking about Route 66. The guy who wrote the song Route 66, Bobby Troop. Nice looking guy, writes songs, sings, and acted. Of course, by now he's not doing any of those things. He's long gone. But was married to Julie London. Yeah. Even wrote the song, for her. I'm probably sure he wrote more than one song for her. But I'd like you for Christmas. And I also have that somewhere on one of these videos. So. Anyway, back to Route 66, at least I'm hoping. Okay. It's kind of like one of those routes that you'd think you'd find a Hotel California down. You probably could, but of course that's in California. And this hotel is in Flagstaff, Arizona. And let me add this in real quick before I get to that. For those who don't know, and I'm sure most do, that Route 66 goes from Chicago, Illinois, all the way meandering through 8 states, 2,448,000 miles, meandering through 8 states to California. I think it's either like, they say Santa Monica, then some say Los Angeles, but I think Santa Monica's a suburb or something off of Los Angeles, so yeah, whatever. But it goes through there. And a lot of strange things happen, and of course, it's been around since 1926, so I'm sure there's a lot of strange things, accidents and everything. Time slips, mostly ghost stories, probably. Maybe alien encounters. Well, we'll get, probably that is more on the Route 666, or 666. I said it without choking or anything. Anyway, back to Route 66, Hotel Monte Vista. There's a couple of, there's many hauntings at this hotel. As a matter of fact, they advise you not to take your pets because pets are more sensitive and have gone crazy here. So, probably not a good idea to take your pets. Some people have heard the bad baby crying in the basement. I would be crying too if I was stuck in a basement. Who knows how many years. And room 210, known as, I don't think it's known as it, but I would call it the ghost room. I actually think they have a name for it. It's called the Zane Grey room, right? Just call it the bellboy room. Because sometime within their stay, a lot of people say they hear a knock at the door and a guy's voice saying room service. When they open the door, nobody there. And you have to wonder, did they order room service? Because I wouldn't answer the door if I didn't order room service and someone said that, unless they said compliments of the hotel or something. And then in Missouri, there's a road, I think that's by Rolla and some other place, town. There's a stretch of road called Lawlerford Road, and there was many ghost sightings on here, but just to name a few, there was a man that was hit by a railroad car in the 1970s, who is said to people have seen. There's a mysterious old woman who, at the end of the road, screams at people. To me, that would be the scariest. And then some say that there's there was a woman called Della Hamilton McCullough who was hit by a train. And in the spot where she was hit, some say they see a bluish white translucent figure of her. So, none of those are not necessarily known to be, and by the way, some people call it Zombie Road. And although I don't know why, because it sounds more ghostly than it does zombie-ish, but, you know. So far, though, it doesn't sound like there was any negative entities, but who knows? Then, as an offshoot of Route 66, you know, there's 666. Route 666. Yeah. So, there was a Linda Dunning who said her husband one night was driving down that part, and that's only 200 miles, where Route 66 goes, of course, 2,448, but 200 of those, you know, is what 666 is on, and I wouldn't go down. I don't think you know what, I know a lot of it's probably just, you know, if you think you're going to see something bad or terrible, you probably will, and if you don't buy into it, or you know that it really can't hurt you, maybe you won't. But they did change that. I just want to add this real quick. They did change Route 666 now to, I think that was 491 now. I think it's 491 they said they changed it to, so. There was a lot of accidents that happened when it was 666, and there's a lot less accidents, they claim, since they've changed in 2003. Now, whether or not before some of those accidents were caused because people were all, yeah, you know, thinking something bad was going to happen. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to know. But, yeah. There was a Linda Dunning who said that her husband had, you know, was traveling on that road, stretch of highway. And, of course, there was desert in that area. And he sees a burning truck coming towards him at a high speed. So, like any normal person would do, he pulls over way back into the desert area to let the burning truck go by. And it goes by, and of course he gets out of there like any normal person would hopefully do, because you don't want to go stay there or be chasing something in that area. I wouldn't anyway. And was there anyone in it, and how's it going at a high speed with burning? These are the questions you know, might ponder, but I don't really want to know the answers to. There's been many things that happened on Route 666, well, on 66 as well, but on Route 666, like a car that people will all of a sudden see a black sedan in the rearview mirror, really close to them, and then they may look to pull over to let it pass, and it's not there, or look back and all of a sudden it's not there anymore. Weird, right? And there have also been stories of seeing a semi-truck who is going at a fast pace too. And some people say when they have gotten car trouble, they'll see the semi-truck, and sometimes it'll seem like it almost tries to hit them. Pretty scary. And probably most of this is at night, I'm gonna say. And then there's the hounds from hell, people say hellhounds, that seem to chase after cars, are able to keep up with these fast cars, when you're going at a goodly pace, and will sometimes puncture the tires with their teeth and cause accidents, or jump into the windows and bite them. And surprisingly, some of them must have lived to tell about it, because otherwise you wouldn't know that, right? Anyway. And there's also the girl in white that people say they see standing by the side of the road in the desert. And she looks sad, and when they pull over to see if anything is wrong with her, she'll just disappear right in front of them. That seems like the lesser of any evils, though, right? I mean, And then there are the people who just disappear. They're on this road, and you might see their car sometime, but they're just empty or abandoned, or they just disappear altogether, car and person. Or some people who go into a time slip and find out they have been gone for days or weeks, and all of a sudden, but to them it feels like it's only been minutes. So, and I think people have said they have maybe seen like aliens or different things along some of this, whether it's Route 66 or 666, and all weird kinds of things. A lot of weird things have happened. The other day I was listening to a story where this guy was working, and I think this was on 66, which is of course the main thing where 666 is off of anyway. And he's working at this gas station. They made him the manager because nobody else is taking the part. He's the only one, and he gets to sleep there and everything. I'm sure many people probably heard the story if they've seen that on TV. But where, to make a long story short, it's like he gets caught up in this ghostly time thing where he sees something that happened some years back, like 10 or so years back or something. This story about where the owner of the store gets killed by his wife and her boyfriend to get the money, and he sees the guy's, the guy got his throat cut, and it's all kind of weird things, but he's like seeing that. It's like they're seeing him, but they're not really seeing him. It's like it was a time loop thing. And all of these kinds of things can happen, seem to happen along Route 66. One has to wonder if it's the meandering kind of way it goes about, maybe kind of a loop or something that makes it weird things happen more than other roads. Of course, like I said, if you've been around for a while, and it's been around since 1926, there's bound to be things, accidents, people, but the fact that these time slips and things happen too does make you think that there's like portals or something sort of like that Bond Street or whatever that you see in England, that there's these places every once in a while that are more prone to these type of things happening from portals or something. It's just weird. Also, there have been supposedly skinwalkers coming about, in this area of the 666 road too, which skinwalkers, as you know, is like a Native American, although I don't think you have to be Native American necessarily, but where the people turn into animals or something. It's supposedly along this route, some of them were turning into animals and causing accidents on the road. I don't know. All kinds of strange things to ponder that happen. And I actually finished this one. Anyway, maybe you have stories where you were on this route. I'm sure I've been down some of these roads or near it before in the past when my parents took us on a car ride or something. Can't say I remember it, but maybe you have stories, personal stories about Route 66 or Route 666. Anyway, I wish everyone a fantastic, wonderful Sunday and a super week ahead.